Starsand Island is officially out in early access on Steam. The three of us have played a variety of levels of the game. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot to say about it. So we're going to do this as our first impressions mini deep dive in. I don't know if that is contradicting each other. First impressions and deep dive. You get to pick what it is, but we're going to talk about all things Starsand Island in case you missed it. This is kind of, I mean, not even determined by us, determined by Steam. This is one of the most wishlisted games on Steam right now, but now it's out, so we'll see. We're doing this before it's out. Okay. Anyway, it is a highly requested, anticipated cozy game that is a life sim that has farming, crafting, ranching, exploration, cooking, all of the things that you think to be in these type of games. This one has it all. And yeah, we all played it. We've talked about this game on our podcast quite a bit in many other episodes, talking about playing the demo. We're excited about it, and now it is here for early access. So I think out of the three of us, I have played the most of this game.
Mm-hmm.
I did play 30 days of it, which by the time you're listening or watching, maybe I have a video posted you should go watch about it, which ended up being like 23 hours of real life time. But I want to start out with Pat, because I think that you have maybe played the least so far. So I want to know, tell us about your Starsand Island experience with early access so far.
Yeah, I think between the demo and the early access version, I'm probably at like 4 hours, like with everything included. I mean, I'm just constantly impressed by this game. Like, first of all, visually, I mean, I'm playing it with like max graphics and everything. So it's just like, it's a treat. Like, it just looks great. It has that nice sort of like anime, almost like a cell shaded art style, but like everything is just done so well in this game. And there's a lot of aspects in this game. So like, one of the things that I noticed, which I think was different from the demo, was the character creator. I think there was more added in there, right? Like there was more hairstyles and, you know, colors and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm impressed with that. Did the early access version or did the demo version have voice acting?
I don't believe it did. I think that's kind of a new thing that they're bringing out for early access. It's worth mentioning we got early access keys before the early access launches, so there's a chance that some of the things we played may or may not be fixed or changed by the time it comes out for you, but probably not.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially playing the first like 2 hours, like you're going to create your character, you're going to learn the basics of crafting, and this game is very similar to like games like Fantasy Life, where there are kind of like different things you can do, and there's different like leaders that will take you through all that. But I just think it's done very well. Like the crafting is done well, the decorating is done well. There's combat in this game. So I guess I'll just start with that. Like the town is like very lively, and I don't know, it's just a treat to like just explore. There's like different things that you can use for transportation, like a skateboard and like roller skates and cars and scooters and stuff. So it does have some extra things that make it stand out from like a typical farming cozy game. But I'm really enjoying like the combat part. Like I think it's really cool to go into that world and have another like gameplay element. So yeah, those are just kind of my first impressions.
Min, what about you? What are the first vibes of Starsand Island? Good, bad, mid?
X. I am a like farming sim junkie, we'll say, and I've played a lot, and sometimes I play them for a little bit, sometimes I play them for a lot of bit, and I will say I think I went into this thinking, okay, it's gonna be like most farming sims that I play, and I will say that it is not like most that you play. Obviously, I think they're almost presenting this game to be to have this expectation of what it is. Like I see them post in their Discord every single day, like it's gonna have this, the NPCs react to you in this way and that way. but you really, as the player, need to like seek out the romance and the town, and you need to seek out a lot more things than what they encourage you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went into this game thinking it'd be pretty similar to other farming sims, what I expected was the story to be like front forward and like front facing and really pull you in with that tutorial that goes into meeting every single person, where that's one of the first things you usually are told to do in a farming game, go meet everyone. But this game is actually more like Luma Island, I'd say, where it says, hey, this game is about the 5 main professions that you can master. So go master them and work on that. And if you are gonna be somebody who plays a game and you follow like the tutorial, and you can get caught in this new profession that you picked and just be doing that and not go talk to anybody, and unless it's part of that quest. And so I think that really shocked me, because I was like, oh, okay, well, if this is what the gameplay is, then I'm going to go seek out these other things to do, because I'm getting into this gameplay loop of kind of questing instead of like life sim. The
Mm-hmm.
other main thing that and I don't mind this at all, that I was like shocked by, is how you make money in the game. You can sell things, but it's more like Heartopia, or like almost like a live service game where you do different things and you get achievements, and then you gain money, rewards, crafting skills,
Mm-hmm.
and you even gain these little stars that you can use to like level up your skills in your different professions. And so I was really shocked by that, and I like that. I just was like, wait, I don't have to go sell stuff. So there's a lot of different elements that makes this so different, that yeah, it was not what I expected. That's all. That's like my first impression, is it was not what I thought it would be. And I don't think that's bad. I don't think that is not good. I just think that it's good that we're setting a new expectation, hopefully, here.
Yeah, I feel very very the same with a lot of what you said, where I remember when we were talking about the game on the show, when I was describing it to you all, like to the listeners, I was like, how, what's like, but what, guys, what's the thing that I say? This is like a farming sim, but like, what's the unique thing? And I thought, I'm like, okay, maybe the unique thing about this one is the different professions. I actually do agree. I think there are a lot of really unique things about this one, but I did have some kind of misconceptions about it, where I think one, and I'm so interested to see when other people play this, like,
Yeah.
because at this time we've just been playing it before it actually comes out, so I'm interested to see what other people do. I don't think you can straight up ignore any of the professions. Like, I don't think you can progress in the game if you don't do all the professions. I don't know that you need to get to the highest level of all of them, but from my experience of playing through the whole first season, a million billion hours, because the days in the game are long. The days in the game are an hour long sometimes,
Which I like. I like. You can go to bed though. You can go to bed and just...
You can.
You need it to be long, because it takes a long time to get through. The world is big, and I'm on my little roller skates the whole time. It takes a while to get from place to place, so like you need the time.
Yep.
But it's going to be jarring if you're coming from like Stardew Valley, where it's 15 minutes per in real life per the day. So this one, it's like, okay, we got time to do things. But so one of the things that I kind of thought about this game was like, oh, maybe this game is going to be good if you're like someone who doesn't want to farm, but you want a life sim. So maybe you could just like ignore the farming. I found it that you kind of like needed to do everything to actually like
Yeah.
progress, which I liked. But I will say what you said, Min, is such a good way to put it, is like you can get lost in the questing, where it's like, this is one of those games, specifically crafting. I would more call this a crafting heavy game than a farming heavy game, because the crafting in this one is going to be like similar to like the little bit I've played of my time at Sandrock, similar to like what I've played with like Sunhaven, where it's like you got to do this to do this to do this to do this. And I think they make it very easy to follow along, which is good. They make it very easy to track quests because the map is really big. They make it really easy to track, like if you're like building something, the resources you need is pretty easy to follow along. And even if you get something and you don't know how to acquire it, you can just like hover over it and it'll be like, oh, this is from the gearsmith. That's why I don't know where to get it. That's why. So it is more complex in the questing than I thought it was going to be, as well as there are these really great characters, but I haven't gotten super deep with them yet, which is like something I thought was going to be more of a thing. I don't know if that is going to be added, because I saw in the early access they were saying like, oh yeah, now we're adding voice acting. But other than meeting the characters, I've gotten up to 4 hearts with a lot of the characters. I've never had a cutscene again. I have the big, unless, I don't know if it's a thing like Stardew is kind of like this, where it's like you got to be at a certain location to have the cutscene trigger. I don't know, but like I'm not full hearts with everybody, of course, but there were a couple I have 3, 4 hearts with. I think 3 I got, because 3 you can go in the room, and I remember getting that. But I never have any type of like cutscene with them or anything like that. So my first impression is long-winded. My first impression of this game is I actually really liked it. I kind of like was really into it. This is one of those games that it's kind of a grind, but they do a good job of showing you what you're grinding for, where you'll see really cute furniture. You'll see really cute, oh my God, the outfits. You'll see really cute outfits. You'll see really cool like buildings you can make. You can see like what you're grinding for a lot of the time, but it takes a while to get there. But I did have a lot of problems too. I had a lot of early access, either bugs or things that were not done, which make me raise an eyebrow for the price of the game. Which
so what were some of the big ones?
Well, let's tell the price.
Okay.
Which I totally know off the top of my head.
I have it.
Okay, great.
So Starsand Island is on Steam and Xbox Preview / Game Pass. Basically, it's in early access on Steam and Xbox. And they plan to launch the 1.0 version in the summer of 2026. And that's when it will also be on Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox Series. The early access pricing is different because it's at 30% off, and it's going to be $27.93 for the base game and $41.93 for the deluxe edition. Full price at 1.0 will be $39.90 for base game, $59.90 for deluxe. So $40 to $60 is the full price.
I'm fine with that, actually.
28 to 40 is the full price for early access.
Okay, so it's like not. I mean, it's a premium price for a cozy game, but like it's not
for early access too.
Yeah. So what were some of the bigger bugs? Because I had like little visual things where like it would kind of clip. I don't know what you would call that, but like
yeah. Because here's the thing, I do want to just acknowledge that we all were sent keys to play this game for free. This isn't sponsored; they're not paying us, but just acknowledging that, of course. So yeah, my problem right now with the price is I did have a lot of things that were like kind of a big problem, but we're playing it before it launches for the public, so I don't know if they're gonna fix things. Mainly, the build mode has a lot of problems right now. You can go to the build mode and it's really cool. Like it's very like you can put things like you can rotate them diagonally, you can do a whole thing, and you can zoom out super big with it's good. But my game breaks like every time I try to get too crazy with the building. Specifically, I had this problem. I low-key, high-key ruined my playthrough because you start the game out with a starter house, and you can get pretty kooky with the construction in the game. It's almost like Sims level construction where you can build the walls and stuff like that. So I decided toward the end of the playthrough I was doing to get a little kooky with the house and I accidentally moved the house, but it didn't move all of the components. So I had like these random pillars just like floating in space. And I was like, oh no, okay. And I couldn't go backwards enough to fix it. And so then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me destroy my house and I'll rebuild it. And I didn't realize that like if you X the building construction things, they don't go in your inventory like the furniture does. If you pick up a furniture item and you click the X, it'll go in your inventory. So I X'd my whole house, and so then I had nothing to build with because it's like a million resources. So I was like, oh my God, I have nothing now. And so then I was like, okay, what do I do? Maybe I can get back to the original house save. No, unless you manually saved your original house that they give you, you can't go back to it. So then your only option is the game gives you layouts where you can grind for like a million billion resources to get these 2 completed layouts that you are not going to be able to get in the early game. Or you can get these component builds where they give you the components to build your own house. But if you're like me and you don't know how to build with all the pillars and all the cuckoo stuff, it's bad. So right now my character has like a stage as a house. Like literally it's like a platform with a bed. It's really, it's a whole thing. But that's just like a challenge. The bug is they noted in the tutorial you can move your chests with items still in them. This is something you can't do in most farming sims.
Yeah.
Right now you can't do it in this one either because I did move the chests and I lost all of my items that I had.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So that was not good. And yeah, so I moved all these items. I lost most of my items in the game. And same thing with my animals. I moved my ducks, like my little duck hutch, and all my ducks were gone.
No.
So I was like, oh no, I have to like buy my ducks again. So that happened. And those were the big ones, the resources, the ducks, and then the festival. Did either of you get to the festival?
No, it's at the end of the first season, and it's like 3 days long, right?
It's one day. So this festival was the most disappointing part of the game for me, to be honest. So weird. The game starts in summer, and it tells you a couple different times. And Min and I talked about this on Discord, and I figured out what the vibe was. A couple times in the mail, you get these things that are like, come to the beach after a certain time, and you could like see the stars and things.
Dream or something.
Yeah, and I went and nothing happened. So I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe this is just like a bonus thing. Maybe it's leading to the summer festival at the end.
It sends that on random days because Peyton got it on different days than me. I got it on day 7 and 10.
Yeah, and then I got it on 7 and 12, and then like a bunch. No, I got it on 12, and then like a couple other random. I got it on like 15, I think, too. But it was so weird. So I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe it's just like the festival is the main thing. Because like the characters don't have birthdays in the game either currently. So the only thing like going on from the calendar is the summer festival. So it's on the 27th, but on the 25th, you can start helping the characters prep for this festival. And so all the different little NPCs will have quests for you to help build their stalls for the festival. Super cute. You do it for like 2 days. And on the 27th, you're supposed to go to the festival. And I went to the festival, and the characters that I helped build stalls for didn't have stalls open. They were just standing there empty, and there was like nothing to do. And so there was one little mini game you could play, like catching crabs. And then there was supposed to be this other mini game, but I couldn't find where to go to do it. So I went to the festival and there was nothing there. And then they were like, come back at night for the bonfire. And I go to the bonfire. There's nothing happening other than like the characters are standing and 2 of them are performing, but they're floating in the air. Like they're just like randomly like in the middle of space, like floating. And then like nothing happened.
Weird.
So it was kind of a bummer because I was like, maybe they just shouldn't have put this festival in at all. Especially because I had taken 2 days in game to like get resources for it, and then it like especially you were like getting this currency you could only use at the beach festival, and then there was nothing to buy because the shops didn't open. So that was really frustrating. And then I had a bunch of other bugs of like people being in the middle of tables. And I did have a game-breaking bug. Unless I'm stupid, one of the professions I couldn't progress at all because the explorer profession, to do junior level, I had to go get the blueprint to make chicken wings.
Yeah, that's
and they weren't there. And I looked at my footage in the beginning of the game; they were there. But when I got the quest, they disappeared, and you can't progress without getting the blueprint. There's no way to get it. So that was a bummer too.
Yeah.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
So, does it feel early access? Yes.
Yeah.
It does. Past a certain point. One thing that I noticed is that the voice acting is there and it's good, but like you're introduced to characters with these awesome, cool cutscenes.
Yeah.
That I love. All the romanceable characters. I love it. But some of mine, the voice acting was in the wrong language that I was playing in.
Mine was never in English, which I thought was just an aesthetic choice.
I had one time English.
Oh, see, I didn't know there even
Mine
was.
were all in English and fine. That's so weird.
Wait,
and
I
didn't
even.
Like,
I thought none of them were in English, and then what happened was my subtitles stopped being in English too.
Oh no!
So I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I thought I was like, oh, the voice acting is not English. Whatever, that's fine.
I don't mind if it's not English either, honestly, as long as I can read what they're saying.
Yeah,
and you get the vibe of their personality. But because I had some that were in English and some weren't, then I was confused.
Yeah.
That was
Wait,
one
that's
of the
so
things
crazy.
We all had different experiences with that. That's weird.
Now, I need to say something. I got jump scared in this game. In the forest is where you do the mining. And I unlocked this door finally after I found this little ghost that goes into the door. You have to find 3 of them from hitting rocks, and then it opens up the door once you have 3. And I go in, and there's these giant bubbles that are floating up. And for some reason, the sound was so loud. And then when they would pop, it was like, boom! And I'm like, oh my gosh! And I hate going in there because of that. But yeah.
Wait, mine didn't even make a sound, I feel like.
I was terrified. I was jump scared. It was just like so taking me out of it. I was like, what is happening? And yeah, the mining, I don't mind it, but you kind of just go in circles until you realize, oh, I'm in the same place 5 million times. I have to like unlock these other doors to get there. The combat, do we want to talk more about that, Peyton?
Yeah, because you said, Pat, you're like, I like the combat.
I don't like it. I only have a slingshot.
Yeah, right where I'm at now, it's a slingshot, and you can use like either pellets or rocks or whatever.
And there's one thing there.
Yeah, and it goes into
there are more monsters later.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes into like a different view and stuff. I found it fine for but I know that there's like bows in the game. Like I know that there's better weapons and stuff, but I mean, when you first start, I think it's fine. It's nothing amazing, but I just like that it's in this kind of game. We always talk about combat, and do you think it's out of place?
It's different and unique, but it is not avoidable, and it gets more difficult where you need to go and you need to prepare because there are bosses, which I think is really cool.
I have a completely different opinion than you. I think the combat is too easy and too baby for me.
What is wrong with me? I can't beat this boss.
No. Is it the crystal guy?
The first boss, because I don't have enough rocks.
Well, okay, yeah.
Maybe I gotta get a different strategy and get.
You gotta get the ammo.
If you want to avoid combat, you can make these robots to do it.
I didn't even do that. You could just walk away. So here's my thought on the combat.
What?
I agree. Not every game has to have combat. And in fact, the whole time I was playing, I was thinking, oh, this is a great option for people who don't want to do the combat because you can literally just like walk away. And so it'll be like one monster or boss like every once in a while. and they're the same place every single time, so you know where they are. So you're like, okay, this is the place with the chicken. So like,
Yeah.
or the bird, whatever it is. So like, all
The
right, I'm not
real
gonna go.
bird.
The bird, there's a frog too. I'm like, okay, I gotta go get the iron, but the frog is by there. You could just walk around. Like the combat, it takes
I
them
don't
so.
I don't think it has to be Hades level. I don't think it has to
No.
be.
It doesn't.
Dark
But for
Souls.
a game
I
that
see what
has
you're saying.
exploration as a profession, I think the combat needs to get a little juicier because this doesn't need to be Stardew Valley mines. This doesn't need to be any of that. But if you're gonna have exploration as a profession where they're telling you got to make ammo and then you could just like walk away and like not participate.
Yeah. Well, I was okay with being able to walk away. I thought you meant you could walk away and still progress the exploration, but you can't because one of the things is to kill the first boss.
Yeah, you need resources from them, but it's like I think it's very easy because the whole combat is like, okay, there's this big guy, he's gonna throw like a fire thing at you, but it takes him like 2 minutes to charge up to throw the thing at you, so you could just walk slightly off, hit him slightly off. I don't know if it gets much harder later. I went through like almost all of the rooms. I don't know if you scrolled and then there were more. And I wasn't worried about. And I'd never even made the ammo. I was doing rocks and then whatever ammo characters gifted me.
Wow.
So that was my thing with it, where I thought the whole time, like, oh, this is going to be a good option for people who don't want to do this. But I just think if you're going to make exploration a profession,
You want a little spice.
I think it should. This was one of the weaker points for me.
Did you get to a point where you can make other weapons? Or are you still rocking the slingshot?
No, because I had that bug where I couldn't progress the exploration profession. So there's even a whole section of the forest I couldn't. I got to everything in the forest I could physically get to, and then there ends up being a wall, and you have to ask the hot redhead guy for help. But his quest is the one that's bugged for me, so I can't.
So that blueprint was available in the beginning?
Yeah, when I was editing my video, I saw you needed a bunch of different blueprints from the combat
crafting.
character's
okay.
shop. And so you go to his shop and all the rest of them were there, like a specific type of pellet to make. I don't remember what the other item was, but then you needed a chicken wing recipe to cook. And it wasn't there. But the map was pinging me like that's where it should be. So then I was like, well, maybe it's wrong. Maybe I should go talk to the cooking guy because that's where all the other cooking recipes are. He didn't have it either. So then I went to the general store because they have food there too. Didn't have it. I went to every single place that sells food. Doesn't have it. I tried to ask in the Discord server, but I wasn't allowed to ask because I was playing the game early. So I was like, we'll have to wait and see. But I saw, reviewing my footage, the chicken wing recipe was there at the beginning of the game. I just didn't know I was going to need it. So obviously I didn't buy it. And so what happened is it just disappeared. But what was funny is that character gifted me chicken wings. But I needed the blueprint to progress.
Yeah, you need to do the quest in the way it's supposed to be
They
done.
want you to do it. I couldn't like cheat it because I'm like, wait, I could just get the chicken wings, but it didn't matter.
I think maybe like next episode or something we should revisit, because they're gonna update it for sure.
Yeah,
There's gonna-
like
course.
sometimes I've seen that happen where like we play a game the week before and then they patch many of these things for the 1.0 because a lot of the devs are probably working on this until the moment it releases.
Oh,
in
for
one-
sure.
Of
not
course.
1.0, but in early access.
Yeah, and I totally recognize that. So like, I wasn't too upset about like me accidentally losing my items. I was like, okay, obviously that's not supposed to happen. They said
Yeah.
in the game you could move your chests. But the festival though felt like either this is a massive bug or is it just not gonna be there?
And this also, when I start playing this build, on the screen it literally says version 1.0 point dot 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 million numbers. So I'm like, what build are we playing? If it's
Yeah, that was something else I was confused about too, because with this whole chicken wing thing, I went to their Discord to see if I could ask for help. And I said like, hey, I don't want to just ask my question outright. I don't want it to like spoil anything, but I have a question. Can I ask it somewhere? And the moderators were very nice, but they're like, no, because it would violate your NDA. And I was like, no one sent me an NDA. I was like, I didn't sign an
the
NDA.
embargo.
Yeah, but they were like, no, they're like, the NDA you were sent for your beta test. And I was like, no, I'm not playing the beta test. I was like, this is the early access. I was just asked if I wanted an early access key, and I said yes. And they're like, oh, well, you have to add the developer as a friend and message them. And then I added them, and they never, of course, so they didn't accept a random friend request from some random person.
Yeah.
So but it seemed like in the Discord, people were talking to each other, like, waiting to get the beta, and then some people were waiting to get the early access. Like, it seemed like there was multiple
Confusion.
I don't know what we played too, so that's my other thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what I was trying to say earlier, is that I feel that this game is presenting Starsand Island to be a lot of really cool things, and it is. It is. But when you actually play the game, you're kind of like, what? So one of the things I just recently saw them post about is saying how the NPCs that you can romance have like this memory mechanic where you give them a chicken wing, okay, say,
this is true.
and they remember that, and it's part of like your relationship with them is that they remember how you interact with them. But when I'm playing the game and I'm talking to them and I like their designs and stuff, I'm just like, well, I don't feel like there's a lot to say. You just kind of click the interact. You can interact with them with the heart icon once a day, and you can give them a gift once a day. But that seems to be like, it didn't seem like they were like, oh, my dad did this and I really have this backstory. But it was more like, I hope you're enjoying the town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well,
I felt
I'm
the
not
same.
mad about it. I will just say it was not what I was expecting. And I've played a lot of Fields of Mystria, and I felt like that one's more story forward and really focused on the immersion. And where this one felt like it's more focused on professions, questing, career, and like crafting and resource management and stuff like that, which is absolutely fine as well, and still has a lot of cute, fun things and ways to travel around the map and really cute animals. It felt less story heavy and more quest heavy.
Yeah, it's
And I
very
don't think
quest
that's
heavy.
bad.
Especially the crafting.
I just think it's not what people are
Yeah.
maybe expecting.
The
Yeah.
crafting, some people could say, is a little tedious because you need to make the coal to make that, to make a plank.
And you need to make the crafter to make that.
I have to make one more bronze bar, which needs a tin ingot and a copper ingot and a
Yeah.
glass. Yeah.
So
No, but
it's a
I
little
agree
of
with you.
that. Yeah.
Because like the main the story of the game is your character used to be on this island as a kid, and you're coming back to it. You've left your corporate job and now you're coming back to the island, you know. It's cool because some characters know you from
Yeah.
childhood. Like my hot fishing boyfriend knows me. He's like, oh yes, we grew up together.
Yeah.
But the hot farming boy doesn't. And he's like, oh yeah, I've heard of you. So that's good. But they do remember what you've given them. So when I give the hot farming man his cabbage every day, he's like, oh, that cabbage you gave me was really good. But that's it. And even
I like that
the
cabbage.
literally that's it. And like he has the same like laugh as one of the other boys that I'm romancing. It's the same like same thing, and he says it every time. And like I said, I have 3 hearts, so I've never had a cutscene again, which is confusing because when you meet each of the characters, you get like a nice little cinematic
Yeah.
cutscene
Yep.
with
Like,
voice acting.
Literally slow motion for some of them, where it's like their hair's blowing in the wind and they look at you and you're blushing and you're like, oh my God. And then other ones I noticed, like the fishing guy, it was like he turned around after looking at a fish tank.
A
It
fish,
wasn't like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of them were very like the girl on the motorcycle. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I was like, damn, okay, girl, like I love this. But then the others were super quick. So it's weird because like as you get more hearts with them, you get like certain perks. So at the second heart, you could take a photo with them. You could take like a group picture. And then if you get to the third heart, then you can go in the room and they have a special treasure chest that you can get with like a specific item, which is cool. But I never got any heart events or anything like that. In fact, the only like other cutscenes with characters was when new characters came to the island, because at the end of the first season, more characters come. And you do get a cutscene where that happens. But yeah, I was surprised about that because, yeah, I knew like, oh, okay, well, there's going to be voice acting. These cinematic trailers happened when we first met everyone. I don't know if that's going to be added later on, but I enjoyed romancing the hotties because I'm like, oh, let me like go like talk to this cute person, but there wasn't any kind of like special thing. And I do also I do wish there was more diversity with the NPCs as well. Because I mean I kept joking. I was like, I have all of my silver-haired dreamboats. Like there's like three characters who all have like the same hairstyle or a similar hairstyle to me. So I wish there was just a little bit more diversity too, because you can make your character so diverse because there's like a sliding scale to make like your hair color, whatever, your skin color, whatever. And yeah, I just felt like that was lacking in the characters as well. It really sounds like I don't like this game, but I actually like really liked it. But I do. It is an early access game for sure.
And I think that's important to remember is like this game is very ambitious. It's going for like pretty much everything, like every aspect of cozy gaming, decorating, combat, like fishing, like romance, a pretty big open world. Graphically, it's amazing. So it's like, that's what you're going to get in early access. So you're probably going to, when the embargo has lifted right now, so you can like listen to a bunch of people's like impressions on it. You can play it yourself. You're probably going to hear a lot of different things. Like, you know, Payton kind of dealt with some buggy stuff. Like me at this point, I have mostly like encountered visual and audio glitches, but I'm excited to play it more because I think next episode we're going to have a lot more to say. And yeah, especially like, with updates and stuff.
When I played to the amount that you played, Pat, I was like, oh, it feels full release. Like,
yeah.
And then you get to this point where you're like, oh, well, now it's feeling more early access. And they also said there's over 100 hours to play in this game. And that's another thing. I'm like, they're setting this up to be, I don't know, just a little. I think they're going a little too hard with what they're giving people to expect.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the first season took me 20 hours. So, like, it'll take me a while to see all the seasons. I did start fall, and fall is very pretty, which is nice.
Good.
I would love to just say a couple things I liked because I told you all of the things. And I'm like overall like really excited to keep playing this game. I just like raise an eyebrow maybe about like the price tag for early access, because the version I played, which I was very kindly sent for free, I think I might have been upset like if I paid full price, because it's just they need to address some bugs, and we'll see how they address it, and I think that's important. But things that I really liked about this game, the clothing is so cute.
Yeah.
You get so many cute clothes in this game, and you unlock them I feel like all the time. Like you're always unlocking cute outfits. You can get some in the store, but mainly you get really cute ones that you can craft yourself. Like there's a sewing table, and you can actually craft, like I crafted this really cute mushroom fit that was so amazing. So like I loved that, was so good. Like Min said, I didn't worry about selling things to make money for a long time, because if you are following the main quest lines and even the bulletin board quests, you're making a lot of money and you don't have to sell things. But then they have really helpful like machines that make life so much easier. So like you can build a shipping bin at your house, which is much easier. There's also something you can build that's a mini bulletin board at your house, so you don't have to go all the way into town to check the bulletin board. It's also really cool. You can rent different vehicles and also animals that are mounted as well. There's sparkly pink rabbits in the game, which I'm a fan of, which are really cool. And overall, I like the how it guides you through the game. It does this weird balance between long tutorial in the beginning, but then telling you nothing and you have to find everything out yourself. But when you're navigating through the island, it's really nice to go around because it'll tell you where you need to go next and like what you want to pin. And then it'll tell you the exact path to get there. Like it'll like sparkle and it'll be like, okay, well, you don't have to jump off of a cliff. You can take a turn and you can be on the road, person. Crazy. So I like all of that. And like I said, I think the main thing is like I see where it's going. Like it's a grind, but I can see like, oh, at some point I could make a really cool house instead of the little stage that I have now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that I can like see the potential in this one. Is the vibe.
This is a slow burn game if there ever was one. I'm telling you, because the days are so long.
I love a long day, man.
And yeah, it kind of like even when you faint, it's kind of cool. It's like in Dinkum in a way where it's like your eyes start to close and you're like you can see the blinking and then it's getting darker. And I thought that was interesting, but there's really not a lot of consequences for that. I would say this is a very chill game that you're not going to want to like I think that it's not meant to rush through. What I liked and what stood out to me the most is just how different like all the UI is and how you unlock things and the skill trees and the things like that. And also I think that the romanceables stood out to me and how like they're introduced to you. I think it's really cool. I want to see more of those cutscenes though, so I hope they add more. It just immerses you into the game more. I love the animals and that they're also part of like your NPC list and you can befriend them and give them gifts. And there's a really cute fox. There's a capybara. They're adorable. And the capybara was taking a bath and it was like, sorry, you can't talk to him. He's taking a bath. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to come back later.
Isn't there like a panda named Grumpy or something?
There's a panda.
Oh, is there one named Grumpy? I met one called Bobo.
I think
and
I
one
met
called
one
Bao.
named Grumpy.
But they're really cute and yeah, there's a lot to like about this game. It's unique. You can rollerblade around, which I thought was so funny. You can do ollies on your skateboard, which made me just laugh. And there was a lot that I just like kept calling Van into the room, be like, look at this, look at this. And so it's definitely so cute and has so much heart put into it and so much like just so much that I think is gonna make it stand out. But with playing early access, yeah, there's a lot you also need to look out for and yeah, just be aware of. Like this might be one to wait for 1.0.
It makes sense why they delayed it.
Yeah. And it's making sense now. But yeah, it just wasn't what I was expecting in every sense of the game, but I am still pleasantly surprised by a lot of stuff. I think it's just when we come on here and we're sharing about it, we have a lot to say because there's so many things we were like not expecting that maybe don't sound like the best experience played. But I think the main thing that I'm most excited about is just like upgrading my professions to the master level. That is really fun. And I think that is meant to be like the main core gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know that they did the best job presenting that unless it's just that I'm not picking up on it because I'm so into the farming sim genre that typically I'm used to being presented with, oh, romance, story, blah, blah, you know, that I couldn't see that clearly. So I just want to like set the stage for the listeners who might have had my perspective too going in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep you updated on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, what would you say? Would you like what you've experienced so far? Would you say that you recommend it, or would you say it's too early to tell?
I mean, for me, it's too early to tell at this very second. But I think what you have here, if everything, I mean, bugs aside, which it's tough to say that, but like if everything worked. It's a solid game. It's kind of like a Rune Factory Story of Seasons. Like if they kind of were more similar to each other, because you have the combat, you have the different NPCs and stuff like that. Story of Seasons has been doing a better job at like the romance part of stuff. So yeah, I think so far I haven't played enough to really say, but I would personally recommend it. But
There's pumpkin furniture, so if that
I
entices you.
fully recommend it. I endorse this game.
There you go. Yeah. What do you think, Min? Will you say you recommend it or like wait?
I would say if you're gonna play it on Steam, buy it at the cheaper price, and I would say maybe play 1 or 2 days, get a feel, and then stop and wait for full release.
Yeah, because none of the stuff that we talked about today, I don't think are necessarily deal breakers. If they don't get fixed, it is. Like, game-breaking stuff, yes. But this stuff is going to be ironed out. I mean, that's what Early Access is for. But
I bet the listeners are buying the chicken wings right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're buying them.
They're right here.
I don't know. It does sound like big stuff to me, and it does sound like a lot to work on that they have to patch. And I don't know how many devs are on this team, and I don't know how much time it takes. And I start to get like, oh my gosh, I don't think this is coming out in summer 2026.
I don't think so either. Because
Really?
yeah,
like missing quest items though. That's such an easy fix.
No, but like
the
festival?
festivals.
That's huge.
That's I would say another missing quest item.
The no more cutscenes for the NPCs.
Yeah. That's
why do you have full voice acting just for like the intro?
Yeah. So you guys are saying delay. You guys are saying another delay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also like I went into their Discord, like I said, to ask about my chicken wings, and the moderators and everyone seemed very nice. There seemed to be a lot of chaos because it seemed like there are people who I don't know if this game had a Kickstarter, but there are people who backed the game that like it's a couple days before early access, they're supposed to get a key and like didn't get their early key. There's like beta players that like had confusion. It seemed like there was all these different branches of people with different questions. And it seems like there's a lot of components in this game. So I'm interested to see like the experiences other people have, because I only went through the first season and there were a lot of things that were wrong in the first season. And I feel like what tends to happen with early access games is the first season is the most polished because it's the first thing most people play. So I'm a little concerned going deeper into the game if there's going to be more things that are, I don't know. But I see why the game didn't come out, because it needs some work for sure.
Yeah.
But it is also a highly ambitious game. So like this reminds me of Coral Island a lot, where I'm like, I can understand why things might be the way they are. But I don't know how this is going to launch on console at the same time in just a couple months. But who knows? Who knows? I don't know anything. I don't make games. They're going to be amazing and fix everything.
There you go. Let us know your opinion. Or comment if you've been playing it. Let us know. Did you buy the chicken wings?
Let me know. And don't comment, Payton, you have to go to his place to buy the chicken. I know. They weren't there. They're like, stupid. I'm like, no, they weren't there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like you said, let us know what you think about Starsand Island down below.